Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is Wednesday, November 2nd, and we are welcoming back returning guest Andreas, Hale, a boxing and MMA analyst, and has a new gig that we're all excited about. Senior editor at Champions. Congratulations on the new gig, Andreas, Hale, and thanks for being back with us.
Hey, thanks for having me, and I appreciate the congratulations. Thanks.
All right, so Jessie Vargas and Manny Pacquiao fight that goes this Saturday is the first thing we're going to discuss here. This is a kind of a tough one. Obviously, Pacquiao, even at his advanced age and his declining skill set, should be a huge favorite here. And the line that I'm seeing right now is minus 800. Jessie Vargas on the other side is plus 550. And with Pacquiao, it's kind of you want to see him maybe test a young and up and coming prospects, but that's not really what Vargas is here. My sense is that this is a little bit, I don't know, even though it's Pacquiao, there's kind of not a ton of interest here. I'm thinking maybe we're looking at a boring fight here, even though Pacquiao, has the big edge and I can't see him losing. I don't know if I'd want to bet him at minus 800, but what about just, I don't know, the fight goes the distance at minus 300, Pacquiao by decision at minus 170, kind of boring picks for a boring fight, but if you're cashing, that's what we're looking for. What do you think about that analysis?
Well, it's everything that you just said. On paper, this is a physical mismatch.
Right.
Manny Pacquiao is a much superior skill set. The age, it is what it is. But Jessie Vargas, I've been watching Jessie Vargas for years, and he's been the benefactor of a lot of gift decisions during his time as a professional fighter. Granted, he's improved under Dewey Cooper, and he looked good for a brief second against Timothy Bradley, and he destroyed Saddam Ali, but he's not in Manny Pacquiao's league.
Right.
The biggest concern here is whether Manny Pacquiao's head is going to be in the game on Saturday night. Splitting the time and being a part-time politician and a part-time pugilist could take a toll on him, and it could open the window for Vargas to come up big in a shocker, which makes me believe he could take a flyer on Vargas for a knockout within 12. I doubt it'll happen, but I can't see Vargas winning this fight any other way.
Yeah, definitely if it goes decision, that's all Pacquiao. And and look, he can get, a fighter with Pacquiao's style, kind of a crafty lefty, is always vulnerable to a straight right. And Vargas, he doesn't really have he's not known for his knockout punch, but he did land a couple big punches on Bradley, right?
Yeah, he almost got him out of there in the 12th. If he had a different referee in that fight would have been Vargas's, and he'd still be undefeated. Right. Against Saddam Ali, he was an accomplished welterweight. He destroyed him in that fight and got the stoppage. He's under the tutelage of Dewey Cooper now, who has taught him how to sit on his punches a little more. And Dewey Cooper's a kickboxer, so he understands distance and how to deal with southpaws. Does that mean it translates into Jessie Vargas beating Manny Pacquiao? Not necessarily, but it gives him a better chance than most would think. Like I said, again, this is more about what Pacquiao brings to the table, being a senator, than it is, his declining skill set or anything else, because we don't know how much time he's really put in the gym. No matter what he tells us, it's got to be a little bit exhausting doing senatorial duties until 8 p.m. and then training from 9 p.m. at night till maybe 1 in the morning. So I don't know how his conditioning is going to be on Saturday night.
Wow, so you're actually kind of down on Pacquiao, because I was seeing this fight, I was like, all right, Pacquiao's I would put him even maybe a notch and a half, maybe 2 notches better than Vargas. Pacquiao, is going to fight again, so he's not saying he wants to retire. So I thought we're seeing just a boring fight with a very predictable outcome. But you're thinking that it might be worth a shot. That the value is actually the better value might be on Vargas to get a knockout, and you could actually hedge Pacquiao by decision and Vargas by knockout. But you actually think that if you had to make a bet on this one, you take a shot with Vargas by knockout. I'm going to look right now and see what the odds are while you answer that question.
Yeah, that's the only way that Vargas can win this fight. Manny Pacquiao hasn't knocked anybody out in a while. He's going to take some chances. I feel like he has a lot to prove, but I'm not really sure. I wouldn't say that Jessie Vargas is the pick here, but it's where the value is at. And if you're going to take a flyer on somebody, if you're going to do it with Vargas, you're not going to really make any money betting on Manny Pacquiao. There's the chance that he could stop Jessie Vargas. He probably will win a decision, and he should be the heavy favorite. But, if you want to take a chance, take a chance. Yeah,
you said you're not going to make any money by betting on Pacquiao, but Pacquiao by decision is just minus 170. That's not a huge do you think there's any way Pacquiao actually gets a knockout here?
It's doubtful. He just hasn't knocked anybody out in a while, and Vargas does have a pretty durable chin. So this thing will probably go the distance. This will be Manny Pacquiao. He'll try to get him out of there early. If Vargas chooses to stick around, Pacquiao will cruise to a decision. He's still Manny Pacquiao at the end of the day. 37 years old and not. Senator or not, his natural gifts are far superior than what Jessie Vargas has to offer.
All right, so what about this? Think about this, Andreas Hale. What about a hedge? Pacquiao by 12-round decision, minus 170, and Vargas inside the distance at plus 1450. You can hedge that one out. If either one of them cashes, you win. If either one of them comes through, you cash. And it's a pretty nice hedge there, minus 170 and plus 1450.
I'd take it. Why not?
Why not?
You have two things here that are probably the only two outcomes. Pacquiao by knockout is possible. Jessie Vargas by decision, I think, is absolutely impossible. But this is where I would hedge my bet and where I would try to make a little bit of money here.
All right, Andreas Hale, I think we did it. I think we broke it down. My official pick on this one, with fortified by all of your advice and analysis, a hedge. Pacquiao by decision at minus 170 with Vargas inside the distance at plus 1450. I'm not sure what those official odds would come to, but I'll calculate them and we'll put them up on the screen in a graphic. Andreas Hale, thanks so much, as always.
Thank you.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.